Welcome to Video 3.4, Spelling and Word Usage Tips. In this lesson, we'll go over the most common spelling pitfalls, confusing word pairs, and usage tricks you need to know for the TEAS exam. These questions often look simple, but missing them can cost you easy points. Let's sharpen your skills. Let's begin with some classic spelling rules that still show up on the test. Even though English has lots of exceptions, these rules work often enough to help you make the right choice. Here are 4 key spelling rules to remember. 1. I before E, except after C. Use this rule when spelling words like believe, peace, but if it follows the letter C, it usually flips. Receive, ceiling. Watch out for exceptions like weird, either, and foreign. The rule isn't perfect, but it works often enough to guide you. 2. Drop the final E before adding a vowel suffix. When adding ing or able, hope, hoping, make, making, keep the E when the suffix begins with a consonant. Hopeful, careful. 3. Double the final consonant in some cases. If a word ends in consonant, vowel consonant, and the stress is on the last syllable, double the last letter. Admit, admitted. Begin, beginning. But if the stress isn't on the last syllable, don't double it. Travel, traveled, especially in American English. 4. Words ending in Y change to I before suffixes. When adding ed or ness, cry, cried, happy, happiness, but keep the Y when adding ing, crying, studying. Tip: pay close attention to suffixes. They're often the reason spelling changes, and it appears often on the test. Next, let's clear up some commonly confused word pairs that the TEAS loves to test. These words may sound similar or look almost the same, but they mean very different things. Here are some of the most frequent pairs to watch for. Your versus your. Your shows possession. Your book is on the table. Your is a contraction for you are. You're doing great. Its versus its. Its is possessive, no apostrophe. The dog wagged its tail. Its means it is. It's raining outside. Now let's look at there, there, there. There refers to a place or position. Put it over there. There shows ownership. Their house is huge. There is a contraction for they are. They're going to the store. Moving on. Affect versus effect. Affect is usually a verb, an action. The weather affects my mood. Meanwhile, effect is usually a noun, a result. The medicine had side effects. TEAS tip: if it's an action, use affect. If it's a result, use effect. Finally, then versus then. Then refers to time or sequence. What happens next? We ate dinner, then watched a movie. Then is used for comparisons. She's taller than me. Final tip: if you're ever unsure, swap the word with what it actually means, like you are for your or they are for their. If it fits, you've got the right one. Now let's talk about word usage, choosing the correct word based on context. On the TEAS, these questions test whether you understand how words function in real sentences. Here are 3 essential usage tips to remember. 1. Homophones are common traps. These are words that sound the same, but are spelled differently and have completely different meanings. For example, the word brake refers to stopping a vehicle, while break means to smash something or take a rest. Another example, right means correct, while write means to put words on paper. Always pay close attention to the sentence around these words. Context clues will help you choose the correct spelling. 2. Be careful with plural versus possessive nouns. A common TEAS error is confusing plural nouns with possessive ones. Let's say you see the student's desk with the apostrophe before the S. That means one student owns the desk. Now compare that to the students' desks, apostrophe after the S. That shows multiple students each have desks. And finally, if you read, the students were taking a test, with no apostrophe at all, that simply means more than one student with no ownership implied. Remember, apostrophes are used to show possession, not just plurality. 3. Adjectives versus adverbs. This is another area where students get tripped up. You need to identify what the word is describing. For instance, in the sentence, she is a quick learner, the word quick is describing the noun learner. That makes quick an adjective because it's modifying a noun. But in the sentence, she learns quickly, the word quickly describes how she learns. It's modifying the verb learns, which makes quickly an adverb. Adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or even other adverbs, and they often, but not always, end in ly. TEAS tip. When you're unsure, ask yourself, is this word describing a person or thing? If yes, it's likely an adjective. If it's describing an action, it's probably an adverb. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways for spelling and word usage. Learn and apply the most common spelling rules, especially ones with suffixes and tricky endings. Watch for commonly confused words, especially homophones. Use apostrophes carefully when showing possession. Choose words based on their function in the sentence. Ask yourself, is it acting as a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb? On the TEAS, you'll often be asked to fix misspelled words, correct grammar in a sentence, or pick the right word from a confusing pair. Practicing these patterns will help you avoid common traps and earn quick points. Great job! You just mastered essential spelling rules and word usage tips, key skills for scoring high on the English and language usage section of the TEAS. In the next video, we'll tackle academic vocabulary in context, where you'll learn how to use context clues to figure out unfamiliar words and understand vocabulary in real-world reading situations. Let's keep the momentum going.